Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Preeti Kaur. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer unveils 4-point plan to reach peace and defend Ukraine in the London summit as European leaders close ranks to spend more on security. Volodymyr Zelenskyy says Ukraine remains ready to sign minerals deal with the US after White House pact. On World Wildlife Day, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi goes on lion safari in Gujarat's Gir, commends India's contribution towards preserving and protecting wildlife, also chairs the National Board for Wildlife Meet. Anora sweeps big trophies at the Oscars. The story of a sex worker grabs the honors, including film, lead actress and director. The Brutalist wins the Best Actor award. In sports, India beat New Zealand to set up semi-final clash against Australia. Kiwis to face South Africa in the second semi-final of Champions Trophy 2025. In a pivotal moment for Ukraine, European leaders gathered in London this Sunday, pledging to ramp up defense spending and stand united in their commitment to Kyiv. With conflict escalating to multiple fronts, now leaders have committed to strengthening Ukraine's defense, focusing on a strategic plan to bring an end to the conflict. We get to a detailed report.
UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, alongside French President Emmanuel Macron, proposed a partial one-month truce between Russia and Ukraine. This truce would suspend attacks on air, sea and energy infrastructure but would not halt ground combat.
First, we will keep the military aid flowing and keep increasing the economic pressure on Russia to strengthen Ukraine now. Second, we agreed that any lasting peace must ensure Ukraine's sovereignty and security, and Ukraine must be at the table. Third, in the event of a peace deal, we will keep boosting Ukraine's own defensive capabilities to deter any future invasion. Fourth, we will go further to develop a coalition of the willing to defend a deal in Ukraine and to guarantee the peace.
Starmer also announced an additional $2 billion of UK export finance to secure more than 5,000 air defense missiles for Ukraine. This summit comes just days after the US president's public confrontation with Zelenskyy, questioning Ukraine's willingness for peace, a move that raised questions about future American support for NATO.
I don't think the format of what happened brought something positive or additional to us as partners. I don't want to discuss what happened. I understand that. I don't want to talk about why it happened. I only want to highlight why I also understand. I don't think we should continue building strong relationships in this format. I'm sure that this situation will pass and there are more important things ahead. If all of us are going to be constructive moving forward, I think we can await a positive result. And if my understanding is right, positive is when we are making peace for Ukraine closer. All of us.
18 European allies got into a huddle at the Lancaster House, with leaders urging a strong response besides emphasizing the importance of ensuring that Ukraine's military strength remains intact post-conflict. There were calls to maintain unity in the NATO ranks also.
The important thing is that everyone here has clearly reaffirmed that they want to support Ukraine. Russia's aim has always been to establish a government in Ukraine that dances to Russia's tune. That cannot be accepted. Ukraine is a European country that has decided it wants to join the European Union, a democratic and sovereign nation that must remain so.
We had a broad and frank discussion on how to ensure this common goal, how to promote unity, and more importantly, how to prevent divisions within the Atlantic Alliance and the West. It seems to me that there is broad consensus on this. Various proposals are on the table, and I believe that anyone putting forward a proposal at this moment is making a useful contribution. With Europe at a crossroads, this summit has marked a new phase in the international response to the Ukraine crisis. Aarti Rana's report for DD India.
After meeting of the European countries on Ukraine in London on Sunday, Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk said that European countries are convinced of the need to ramp up defense spending and increase aid to Ukraine.
Wszyscy też są przekonani, że
Everyone is convinced that the Europe has to take on more responsibility and start bearing the burdens associated with building a defense industry, increased aid for Ukraine during the war, and greater spending with NATO on their defense budgets. We are also looking towards March 6 with caution but hope.
od
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy remains committed to a crucial minerals deal with the US, sparking hopes for Ukraine's post-war recovery. However, this comes after a heated showdown among Zelenskyy, Donald Trump and JD Vance a couple of days back. As diplomatic efforts unfold, the stakes are high for Ukraine's future. Let's take a look.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's recent meeting with the US President Donald Trump ended in a diplomatic disaster. A full-blown verbal spat not seen in a meeting of heads to state in a long time. The showdown in front of media put paid to any hopes of a mineral deal that was ready to be signed. Now the Ukrainian president says he remains committed to signing a minerals deal with the US. Zelenskyy, while talking to reporters after the summit with European leaders in London on Sunday, said that he believed he could salvage his relationship with US President Donald Trump after their explosive meeting in the Oval Office, but that talks needed to continue behind closed doors.
Ми розраховуємо на допомогу.
I think our relations with the US will continue because this is more than the relations during a certain moment. We must be open. Ukraine is not the biggest country in the world, but everyone can see how it fight for its independence and freedom. We count on assistance from the United States of America without a doubt. I think stopping such assistance will only help Putin. And because of that, I think that the United States and representatives of the civilized world, leaders of this world, definitely won't help Putin.
Знати позицію одне одного.
Zelensky also reiterated that Ukraine would not concede any territory to Russia as part of a peace deal. He also underlined his gratitude to the US for standing by Ukraine and providing it with military support. The minerals deal aims to jointly utilize Ukraine's mineral resources. Ukraine relies on US support to sustain its efforts in the conflict, but the relations have experienced a southward slide after Donald Trump took charge.
Незважаючи на те, що
Regardless of what happened earlier, despite everything, we remain constructive. We thought that the mineral agreement would be signed. On our side, we are ready to sign. Honestly, I think the US will be ready as well. Probably some time is needed to analyze certain things. I just wanted Ukraine's position to be heard.
хотів просто, щоб
As the world watches anxiously, efforts to restore diplomatic normalcy between Ukraine and the US have somewhat taken precedence over the attempts to secure peace in Eastern Europe. Antra Sinha for DD India.
Egypt is set to host a meeting of Arab foreign ministers on Monday in Cairo on Gaza. The Arab foreign ministers meeting is being held ahead of emergency Arab summit to be held on Tuesday, where Arab leaders are due to discuss reconstruction plan for Gaza. After the emergency Arab summit takes place, an urgent ministerial meeting in Saudi Arabia for the Organization of Islamic Cooperation will be held, where foreign ministers will present the summit's outcomes globally. The meeting was called in response to US President Donald Trump's proposal to take over Gaza Strip and move its Palestinian inhabitants elsewhere, including to Egypt and Jordan. Trump's Gaza plan has sparked outcry across the Arab world, prompting a rare show of unity among Arab nations to block it. The 97th Academy Awards concluded on Sunday night. While many wins were expected, some victories came as a surprise to both audiences and cinephiles alike. The sex worker drama Anora took home 5 awards, the most of any film this year. Mikey Madison won Best Actress, while Jean Baker won Best Director, Original Screenplay and Film Editing. Anora also claimed the Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival, making it the 4th film in history to win the highest honor at both the events. The epic film, The Brutalist, about a Holocaust survivor, won 3 awards, including Best Actor for Adrian Brody, Best Cinematography for Lon Crawley, and Best Original Score for Daniel Blumberg. Brody also won his 2nd Best Actor award following the win in 2002 for The Pianist. The political thriller Conclave won the Best Adapted Screenplay. The Spanish-language musical thriller Emilia Perez took home 2 Oscars, Best Supporting Actress for Zoe Saldana and Best Original Song. The sci-fi epic Dune Part 2, the sequel to 2021's Dune, earned awards for Best Sound and Best Visual Effects. In animation, Flow won Best Animated Feature, earning Latvia its first Academy Award. Meanwhile, In the Shadow of the Cypress won Best Animated Short. In the documentary categories, The Only Girl in the Orchestra took home the Best Documentary Short, while No Other Land won the Best Documentary Feature. The fantasy film Wicked won Best Costume Design and Best Production Design, while the body thriller The Substance claimed Best Makeup and Hairstyling. So that was about the Oscars. Up next, we're heading for a short break. You're watching DD India Live, but after the break, Indian Army concludes rescue operations in Uttarakhand. 46 border roads organization workers saved, 8 lives lost. Welcome back after the break. You're watching DD India Live. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi earlier today took a lion safari in the Gir National Park of the western Indian state of Gujarat. The Indian Prime Minister was seen clicking photographs while standing in the safari vehicle during his safari, where he witnessed families of lions. As part of his visit to the Gir National Park, India's Prime Minister also participated in the tree plantation at Singh Southern Campus in Gir. It is the World Wildlife Day today, and Prime Minister, in fact, has extended greetings on the World Wildlife Day. March 3rd is observed as the World Wildlife Day, and Prime Minister, in fact, also shared a message on the social media platform. He said, "Today on World Wildlife Day, let's reiterate our commitment to protect and preserve the incredible biodiversity of our planet. Every species plays a vital role. Let's safeguard their future for generations to come. We also take pride in India's contribution towards preserving and protecting wildlife." So we saw Prime Minister today undertake a jungle safari at the Gir National Park, and he witnessed the lions and the serene beauty. Prime Minister, during his visit, also as part of his visit to the Gir National Park, he participated in the tree plantation at Southern Campus in Gir. As we told you, Prime Minister is currently on a visit to Gujarat, where he chaired the 7th meeting of the National Board for Wildlife at Sasangir on the occasion of World Wildlife Day. He also laid the foundation stone of the National Referral Centre at Junagadh. The 16th Asiatic Lion Census 2025 initiative was also launched by the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister also announced the setting up of a Centre of Excellence in Coimbatore for human-wildlife conflict management. At the same time, the Prime Minister also released a report on the population of river dolphins in India. Gir National Park in Gujarat is a conservation success story. Once on the brink of extinction, the Asiatic lion population has risen from just 20 in 1913 to over 674. DD India's Tapas Bhattacharya gets us this report from Ground Zero.
Deep in the heart of Gujarat lies a sanctuary like no other, the Gir National Park, the last refuge of the majestic Asiatic lions. Once on the brink of extinction, these big cats numbered just 20 in 1913 due to hunting and habitat loss. But thanks to the conservation efforts, Gir has become a wildlife sanctuary in 1965, and today over 674 lions roam freely in the protected paradise. Gir is not just a park, it's a testament to resilience. Indian Forest Department, along with the local communities, has played a crucial role in safeguarding these lions. Rescue operations, habitat preservations and anti-poaching measures have made this a global conservation success story. From dense forests to open grasslands, Gir is a thriving ecosystem, home to leopards, crocodiles and over 300 bird species. As dawn breaks, the roar of the Asiatic lion echoes through the wilderness, a powerful reminder of nature's ability to bounce back. With camera personship, this is Tapas Bhattacharya for DD India from Gir National Park in Gujarat.
India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi has extended greetings on the World Wildlife Day today. Sharing a video, the Prime Minister wrote and echoed him, "Today on World Wildlife Day, let's reiterate our commitment to protect and preserve the incredible biodiversity of our planet. Every species plays a vital role. Let's safeguard their future for generations to come. We also take pride in India's contribution towards preserving and protecting wildlife." As we told you, today's World Wildlife Day, a day to celebrate the rich biodiversity of our planet and reaffirm our commitment to conservation. India has been at the forefront of global conservation efforts. Under the visionary leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the country has taken several transformative initiatives and set a global benchmark in wildlife conservation. DD India's Tapas Bhattacharya gets us more on this.
March 3rd, World Wildlife Day. A day to celebrate the rich biodiversity of our planet and reaffirm our commitment to conservation. This year's theme, Wildlife Conservation Finance, Investing in People and Planet, highlights the vital role of sustainable funding in protecting our natural heritage. India, home to unparalleled biodiversity, has been at the forefront of global conservation efforts. Under the visionary leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, transformative initiatives like Project Lion, Project Tiger and Project Dolphin are shaping the future of wildlife conservation. Gir, the abode of the Asiatic lion, has witnessed a remarkable increase in lion numbers from 523 in 2015 to 674 in 2020. With new weed guards, rapid response rescue vehicles and habitat protection measures, India is ensuring that lions and local communities coexist harmoniously. The expansion of Barda Wildlife Sanctuary as a second home for lions marks a new chapter in sustainable conservation. From 11,000 machans to protect crops, to 55,000 parapet walls around open wells, every step is designed to safeguard both wildlife and people. Even railway safety protocols have been strengthened to prevent tragic lion accidents. With cutting-edge technology, veterinary care, and sustainable ecotourism, India is setting global benchmarks in conservation.
As we celebrate World Wildlife Day, let's pledge to protect our planet, preserve our wildlife, and invest in a sustainable future. Because when nature thrives, we all thrive. With camera person Naveen, this is Taposh Bhattacharya for DD India from the Gir National Park in Gujarat.
India under Prime Minister Modi's leadership leads in wildlife conservation. From 3,682 tigers to 675 Asiatic lions, India's efforts are setting global benchmarks. Community participation and key projects like Project Snow Leopard ensure a thriving ecosystem. Again, DD India's Tapas Bhattacharya gets us this report.
India, with just 2.4% of the world's land, is a biodiversity powerhouse, contributing 8% of global biodiversity. Rooted in a culture of conservation, India under Prime Minister Modi's leadership has achieved a remarkable milestone in protecting its wildlife. Home to world's largest tiger population, India now boasts of 3,682 tigers with 57 tiger reserves safeguarding their future. The Asiatic elephant thrives here too, with around 30,000 elephants roaming its forests. India also sheltered the largest population of one-horned rhinoceros, numbering 3,000, and is the only country where the Asiatic lions, whose number have risen from 525 in 2015 to 675 in 2020. The Indian leopard's population has also seen a 75% surge, reaching 13,874 in 2022. Even the reintroduction of cheetahs has been hailed as a conservation triumph. Projects like Crocodile Conservation Initiative have rescued its population of gharials and other crocodiles. Meanwhile, Project Snow Leopard protects the elusive snow leopards with an estimation of 718 in the wild. Local communities are unsung heroes of India's conservation stories. Their effort in shielding endangered species, monitoring wildlife have been pivotal to their success. India's wildlife conservation journey is a testament to the power of culture, community, and commitment. Together, they ensure that these majestic creatures continue to thrive for generations to come. With camera Shiv Suman, this is Taposh Bhattacharya for DD India from Gir National Forest in Gujarat.
India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar met Belgium's Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Maxime Prevert at Hyderabad House in New Delhi on Monday. Highlighting strong ties, Jaishankar emphasized on the potential for a more contemporary partnership focusing on semiconductors, AI, clean energy research and innovation.
Our relations, of course, have always been good. Belgium was one of the first European countries to establish an embassy in independent India. Today has the possibility of growing in a more contemporary format. We are discussing, semiconductors and AI and clean energy and research and innovation.
The Indian Army concluded the search and rescue operations at the Mana area of Chamoli district in North India's Uttarakhand on Sunday. Now, these operations were part of the relief efforts to rescue the trapped Border Roads Organization workers after the avalanche on February 28th. In the operation, 46 workers were rescued successfully and are currently being given necessary medical treatment. The Army said that 8 lives could not be saved despite the relentless efforts by the rescue team. The Indian Army also extended condolences to the bereaved families of those who lost their lives in this tragedy. Let's talk of sports now. India defeated New Zealand by 44 runs in their final Group A match on Sunday to set up semi-final clash with Australia in the Champions Trophy 2025. Chasing 250 runs, New Zealand's strong batting lineup struggled against India's spin-heavy attack. Only Ken Williamson scored 81 runs, playing a well-calculated innings. Captain Mitchell Santner also played some big shots, but he perished while trying to accelerate the run rate. Spinner Varun Chakravarti spearheaded India's bowling attack with a sensational 5-wicket haul. Earlier, Shreyas Iyer led a resilient knock under pressure with 79 runs as India put up 249 runs for the loss of 9 wickets. The men in blue will look forward to the rematch of 2023 ODI World Cup final against Australia, rooting for a different result this time. Kiwis, meanwhile, will take on South Africa in the second semi-final on Wednesday. That's it in this edition of DD India Live. But let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those of you on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. This app is available on both Android and iOS platforms, and you can download the respective QR codes. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Preeti Kaur signing off, and from all of us here in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.